Tuesday, January 6th. Oh my gosh, it's the 5th anniversary of what I think was the setup. I don't know. Here he comes, my good friend, my co-host, the amazing Jericho Green. How you doing? How are you getting through January 6th? How are you dealing?
Well, you know what? Can I be honest? Is this a safe space for honesty?
Point of personal privilege. You can be
Can I
honest.
can I
You are
bare my
seen.
soul? Can I bare
You
my
are
soul
seen.
and my whole? Um, I
Yeah.
was I was worried when I woke up this morning.
Mm,
I had much trepidation, if
mm.
you will. But then I looked to my screen, I looked to my phone, and what did I find there? I found help. I found support. I found a silver lining, a ray of sunshine, if you will. You know, you want to know what it came in the form of?
Hmm.
It came in the form of Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and others. Some might call them the usual suspects. And they were holding a candlelight vigil for
Mm.
January 6th. So when I saw that, hope poured over me. Went through,
Were you renewed? Were you refreshed?
I was renewed and I was nude. And you
Ooh.
know how you know how in the movies or something you'll see like a spirit will go through somebody, like it'll go and you feel like the energy, like whoa, like Ghostbusters, when Slimer goes through somebody, it's like, whoa, what was that? Well, when I saw that on my phone, I was like, there's hope. I have somebody
Yeah.
who understands. You know what it feels like to meet somebody who understands,
Yeah.
who's been through it, because it's the only way you can understand.
When someone
And
knows your trauma, you
they
know.
know my trauma, they know my truth.
Right.
That's
Right.
what they know. And they know the horrors, if you will. And I'm glad I'm sitting down because I don't want to become faint, but
Mm,
they
mm.
know the horrors and the trauma of that day. I can't even say it. If I say it, I'll probably pass out or
I
soil
just say
myself.
1-6. I don't even say the whole thing.
When you said
You
the
know.
six, I got
Sorry.
chills. I
Sorry.
just
Sorry.
gave myself chills when I said what you said.
Right. Right.
So if you guys are feeling that that way,
Mm,
if you're
mm.
feeling hopeless, if you're feeling like there's one of those heavy weighted blankets on you and
Right.
you just can't rise above, if you can
Right.
move your fingers, because I know you're paralyzed with fear, with trauma, try to Google that image, you'll see it, and you'll slowly start to, break out of that
5
shell.
years. 5 years. Never again. Can you
Never.
imagine if one of the unarmed protesters had got all the way inside and stood behind the speaker's lectern? The Constitution says they rule the government then. That's how it works.
If
If
you
you make
will.
it to the floor of the House, the chamber, and you can sit in Nancy Pelosi's chair, they have to crown you. It's like checkers. You know, when you get to the end of the checkerboard, they have to like king you. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? It's like that. And we were
yeah,
just mere feet away from the freedom shaman, the guy with the horns. If he
yeah,
had gone
yeah.
another 12 and a half feet, he would be king of America, actually, right
And there'll
now.
be nothing you can do about it until
Nothing
somebody
at all.
until another person reaches that podium, that lectern again. Then they
Stupidest
become
fucking shit of all time.
they become very schoolyard, if you will. Like
Ugh.
whole base. I'm saying I'm on base when you're playing tag.
Right.
But Gabe, I know, and I've been doing this show with you long enough. I've been around you enough to know that you're being sarcastic, and I don't like it.
What?
But but
Me,
there was
me,
somebody
sarcastic.
there was somebody who really was in fear on that day. I'm not even
Mm,
going to say a 5 or a 7. I can't even get near it.
right.
But there was somebody on that day who really came this close to the R word and death.
Mm, mm.
She's known by an acronym, AOC. But
Yeah.
also today, when I was searching for that hope on my phone, I saw a clip of her from
Oh,
January 2021, and the lady who was interviewing her said, "So let me make this straight. You thought that something else was going to happen to you, not only that you were going to be killed, you thought you were going to be AR'd and killed." And then AOC said, "Yes, yes, I did." and then she starts to break down, and then they cut away because you can't, you know. So you can make your jokes if you want to, but you could have been, any of us could have been AOC.
Yeah, and
any of us.
Part,
what's worse than that?
You're not safe anywhere you go with this 1/6 thing because she wasn't even there at the Capitol building, and she was still terrified. And she wasn't even physically present.
That's what I mean.
That's how terrible these insurrectionists were.
That's what I mean. But then I go back to the said sarcasm that you're still exhibiting, and I still don't like it. But that's how
many can I put into?
More. Because I don't know about you, but I've been 10 miles away from something that happened, and I still felt it. I still felt it. I was 2,500 miles away from 9/11.
Oh, me too.
I could almost feel the dust on my person. So
you felt like it was right there.
I felt like I was there. And for her to be 10 to 15 to 20 miles away from that and still feel that way, that just speaks to the magnitude of the day in the first week of January.
Right. That's absolutely true. And I want to just thank you for being so strong, and especially since you're a person of color, that you showed that strength that you people
That's
have.
where I get my strength. Are you serious? The darker you are, the stronger you are.
To the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Hey man, quit fucking around. This is the worst day in our nation's history.
Oh my goodness. It's worse than Watergate, worse than Pearl Harbor.
It's worse than all the gates. Front gate, the side gate.
Right.
All the 11s. It's worse than everything. It's worse than the Civil War.
Oh my God.
When we lost 620,000 young men. It's worse than that.
Worse than final episode of Game of Thrones. Worse than that.
Well, come on.
I went too far.
It's not that. It wasn't that bad. But it was terrible. And what really made me, because when I first heard that, I almost said it. Oh, that day, when I first heard somebody say that day was worse than any other day in our history, I was like, shut the fuck up. But then I saw Sloppy Joe say it, and then I saw a video of Kamala saying it, and then that's when I was just like, well, then it is.
It is.
And then to see those brave individuals, dare I say, heroes, to be standing there today with candles to commemorate this dark day.
Yeah.
It just makes me
how brave they were to commemorate it on a day like today when so many couldn't even function on this day.
So many were immobile on the floor of their residence.
So my favorite thing is Democrats kneel BLM.
Oh,
that's my favorite
thing. With the kente cloth?
Yes.
That's right.
It's my favorite one. We're going to have to bust this out for a minute.
Even though the kente cloth is from a specific region in Africa. But whatever.
Are you telling me that white liberals don't know what they're representing?
Hey, man, how much you want to bet that the tag was still on every single one of those stupid fucking scarves, and some aide came, collected all of them, handed to some aide lower down the totem pole than them, and returned all of that shit back to wherever the fuck they bought it from? Because if you think they folded those things up and took them home, I got some magic beans I want to sell your dumb ass before we get out of here.
Right.
Because
why don't they wear this all the time?
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they wear it under their coats. You don't know that. And I want to say we fucked up. Okay, you and I and everybody watching this, we fucked up, because what you should have done is ran out and put your money on being gay stocks, because all them old ass Congress people, they were like that for 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Nancy Pelosi was in her 80s.
Right.
That bitch is old as baseball. And they were all hurting when they got up. You never heard so much creaking and cracking and the sands of time falling out of their joints. We should have ran down there. We should have put money on being gay. And
you thought someone was eating Snap Crackle Pop Rice Krispies when those motherfuckers were standing up.
Dude, That's all you heard through those balls.
What is more humiliating and stupid? The kente cloth liberal Democrats or end racism in the end zone?
Gabe, the
I
term
love football. I am a giant football fan. We talk about NFL football, but this, I have to make so much fun of it when I watch because otherwise it's just cringe city. Me and my
so
son have had a joke
stupid.
for years that if you catch the touchdown while you're standing on racism would actually end, but it's too hard for the players to do.
Well, it's out of bounds.
Yeah.
So that just shows the racism of the NFL. Why do you put it inbound so we can erase racism? Yeah. Because
why is end racism written on a white line? Why can't it be a black line?
Well, as I know many devout racists because I'm a sellout. So I know a bunch of them. And let me tell you something.
Uncle Tom was the hero of that fucking book. I don't ever want to hear that shit again.
Gabe, anybody that you have to say that to won't understand it.
Oh, but it's a good book.
I just told somebody that the other day. He called me the Uncle Tom. I was like, he was the hero in the book. You fucking idiot. But he's too dumb to eat that. That's not even gonna meet his ear. That's not even gonna make it. But I will tell you this: all the white supremacists and racists that I know. One thing when you're a devout racist, the first thing you're gonna do is 3 times a week. Yeah, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, right? You're going to sit down and watch a program that employs 70% black dudes. Because that's what I like to do as a racist. I like to get angry.
Right. Well, we know. Yeah. Go ahead.
The NFL. And a racist is going to see that and go, end it. Oh, shit. Oh. You can end it? That's patronizing. That's insulting. That's so stupid. It's pointless. It's disingenuous.
Here's what it gets me the most about this stuff is football is male. Sports are mostly male. Women play women's sports, and they do great in that.
All the good ones.
But this is masculine. This is male. You know what isn't male? Saying what everyone wants you to say instead of the truth. And that's what this pussy ass shit is. That if I say end racism, then I'm a hero. Mm-hmm. You can just not be racist and never tell anyone you're not a racist. You know how like I'm most not people. Peter, I almost called you Peter, my son. Jericho, I am not a murderer, but I don't wear a hat that says I am not a murderer. I don't go around congratulating myself for not being a cannibal all day.
But what would people think of you if you wore a hat that said I'm not a murderer?
Oh,
they probably think you're a murderer. You're a fucking murderer. Because some things, like I tell my,
you're digging out the pad in your garage looking for bones. They'd have dogs in here.
And all kinds of scanners and all kinds of dude. They're gonna find it. Like I tell my kids, everything that comes into your mind does not need to come out of your mouth, and everything that. I mean, this isn't even real though. This isn't real. The NFL is not trying to do anything, and this isn't where you would start to end racism. You wouldn't start with the fucking NFL because obviously the NFL doesn't have a problem with it because they employ 70% black dudes and not black dudes. You know what the
NFL likes? Fast guys and strong guys, and they don't give a shit what color they are.
They don't give a shit. And you know what? I think that the NFL wouldn't be where you start because they employ and not only black dudes, ghetto black dudes. Right. All right. They're not. And I'm sure some of the black guys in the NFL are the Theo Huxtable type, but most of them aren't. You know what I'm talking about. The gold teeth, the dreads, the way they talk, where they come from. So not only are you employing black dudes, you're employing ghetto-ass black dudes. So I don't think this is where we need to start this whole campaign to end racism. And you can't end racism. What? It is impossible.
Well, that is the racist segment of the show until Steven Seagal comes back because he's got to watch his tone around here.
He's a big racist.
Yeah, his ban is almost up though. I think his ban is over by next week or the week after. So we might be seeing him again.
Hopefully the week after. Hopefully the week after.
We'll be seeing him again real soon.
Hopefully on January 32nd. This was. I remember seeing this for the first time and just laughing hysterically because if you don't laugh when you see this, if you don't either laugh or get angry when you see this, you're the problem. If you think this is okay, if you think this is authentic and genuine, you're the problem. I guarantee you, every single one of those scarves were bought at the same time, at the same store, and they all have the tag on them. For sure.
I'll tell you
Even
this.
the black dude.
I'll tell you this. This makes me want to get a hat that says, "I am not a murderer or a cannibal. I'm not going to kill you or eat you." And then I'm going to just wear that hat everywhere.
Yeah.
And tell people,
and watch everybody. Watch everyone step around you because they think you're a cannibal. And you're going to
get a sweater that says, "I'm not a bank robber," and wear it to go make a deposit, Jericho. See what happens.
Yeah. Wear a sweatshirt that says, "I don't touch kids."
Yeah.
You're going to get tackled.
This is
because people are going to think you touch them.
Crockett's hair.
And eyelashes and accent, black scent.
To be fair, none the miser, that is real hair. It's just from a woman in India or Pakistan.
Yeah, it's from a Korean lady.
Yeah. It's
but you know who should be the most pissed off about Jasmine Crockett's fake accent is her parents, who spent all that damn money to send her to private schools from kindergarten all the way through college.
Houston Country Day School for Young Ladies or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I want some of my money back because you talk like some ghetto hood rat who we could have gotten this for free. You could have went to public school and sounded like that. Why'd I spend all that money to send you to these upper crust schools for you to sound like some welfare case? And people, they fall for it. They're clapping and cheering in her crowds. They're voting for her. Dude,
you know I want to get your take on this because I've been wondering. We'll get to TYRUS later. I want to get your take on this. Tim Walsey, that I never heard of him, and then Kamala Harris promoted him to VP, and he came out with sparkle fingers. He's one of those guys, his jazz hands, and he's kicking and he's wiggling. And I saw him, and immediately I said, I don't ever want kids around this guy. I'm not even kidding. I didn't say it to be mean or I don't like Democrats. Him specifically, as women in liberal major blue cities say, gave me the ick. Like subconscious, I'm like, when I saw this guy. And but I thought he was powerful. And I think the Democrat voters are blue no matter who. Like you could put a can of dog piss and write Democrat on it, and they would vote for it. Like they just vote in lockstep. And he dropped out of running. I could vote for. He dropped out of running for governor re-election, I guess, this week, which is delicious to me because he's an arrogant, passive-aggressive prick, this guy. And I want your take on that. Like, how was I so wrong or whatever that I thought guys like him are invincible? They could do whatever they want, allegedly break any law, allegedly help Somalians steal billions, allegedly do all this, and Democrats will just vote for him. So what's the danger in him and just running? He's not going to – you could never say anything about a Democrat and they wouldn't just vote for him anyway, the blue voters. So I want you to take on that, but I thought this was hilarious. And I just noticed this. The Raiders fired their coach yesterday, and someone said perfect timing for Tim Walz.
He needs a job. He can't do any worse.
Coach in football. Can you imagine this?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't let him coach a team of dogs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him coach a damn thing. But
I wouldn't let him coach circus fleas, this guy.
Nah, too much. It's too much at risk. Too much at risk. I think they wanted him. I think she picked him to keep the fraud coming, to keep that money rolling in. I think some of her campaign money.
Remember, they were flat broke running against Trump. They were totally broke, the Democrat, the DNC.
Yeah.
And so if you have Somalian daycare comes in and they got a lot of money, allegedly.
Yeah, and imagine, what, $18 billion is the number? It's probably twice that. But let's just say billions. You have a source that can produce billions of dollars, in a pretty short amount of time, probably hundreds of millions quicker than that. So I think that's why they needed Tim Walz there, because this would not be getting because Trump, they've cut off funding to them. They put federal agents on the ground. You got hold on, what I'm looking for. Who's the FDA? They're on the ground for the food lunch, the free lunch programs and shit. So this wouldn't have been done if him and the cackling whore were in the White House. And that's
what is
that? That's just a way for them to launder money, just like they do it everywhere else. Just like I wonder if they shut down the Eastern European Ukraine money laundering center because that's how they do it. They send it somewhere, it comes back clean in the form of donations or whatever, and then that's how they just create income. But this basically, you could trace his quitting to that Nick Shirley kid.
Right.
That's what did it. That led to him quitting, and he released a statement saying, and he's going to, I think today, it's either today or tomorrow, he's going to actually take questions
over his dead body. Will he resign? And he's going to fight this all the way. What are you going to fight, dude? The people caught you allegedly helping the biggest investment fraud in the history of this country. Is that what you're going to fight? You fucking,
and that's how it is.
Finger weirdo. By the way, Remdog 1138. He is a big fan of the show. He's always here. We love him. He's always in the chat. He does political cartoons. And do you see the pun he has? I'm going to go find the cartoon and show everyone. He said, did you see the walls are closing in? I hadn't seen it yet, Remdog, but dude, bravo. The walls are closing in. I love that. That's funny. Let me go dig for that real quick. Go ahead, Jericho. What were you saying?
But his, him resigning, he did a press conference and he didn't take any questions in the original one. He said that he would be back the next day to take questions. But he was saying that, you know, I can't give running the attention it needs, and I can't, you know, do that, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to fight for Minnesotans and all this kind of bullshit. But if everything's so dire, and if Trump is so bad, because he mentioned that, this administration, I'm not going to let them do this. So he's blaming it on Trump. He's blaming it on white supremacy and racism and all this stuff. So if white supremacy and racism is at the door and Trump is this terrible dictator and he's so horrible, then why won't you run again so you can stay in the good fight, so you can help the people of your state? Why are you quitting? If such things are in the balance, you know, we have a tyrant and a racist and a misogynist, and he's a warmonger now. He's going to go to war with Venezuela. And hey, if I got to have a president who's picking people to go to war with, give me the president who picks Venezuela. Are you kidding me? We'll send a half of one unit down there and kick the shit out of Venezuela in 24 hours. So if we're going to go to war with somebody, let it be Venezuela. But yeah, he's a money laundering system for them. And he might be allegedly, but if Tim Walz goes down and he's like the only one, if he's the biggest fish, air quotes, that we get arrested, I'll be happy with that. The governor of Minnesota goes to prison. Yeah.
I know you feel this, and I feel this too, and I think everyone does. We're not going to be happy till we see them in orange, in the handcuffs, in the ankle cuffs, shuffling, and then convicted, and then sentenced, and then stay in there. Because there's been so much injustice for all of human history, but there's been so much injustice in our faces since World War II. And then Trump pulled the curtain back 10 years ago, and it is a zillion times worse than we thought, the government. Like, remember the USAID a year ago when Elon Musk had Doge investigating? The very first story that broke was Politico, a left-wing online magazine of journalists. They do left-wing hit pieces. They couldn't make their payroll. And it started trending on Twitter, like, reporters on Twitter were saying that they weren't getting their direct deposit this week from Politico. And I thought, that's weird. That left-wing rag ran out of money. And then within the next 24, 48 hours, the dam broke. And we started seeing all this insane stuff about USAID. And it makes me, do you ever want to pay taxes again? I don't want to pay taxes in the first place. But now you're like, the late nights, the sore feet, missing a family event, all the work I do to make money, to pay taxes to my property, and this is what they're doing with my money. This is what I understand. There's welfare and this and that, and you need a certain level of that for the poorest of the poor. But this is outright theft, larceny. You know, this is the worst of the worst, and it just makes you so bitter. Of like, you don't want to give these motherfuckers a penny ever again.
Nope. And that's the problem. Like, American citizens, we're not mean. We're the most generous nation in world history. And anytime there's a problem, anytime there's a tsunami or an earthquake or something, and there's 15,000 people buried under mud and hay, we're the first ones over there sending aid and cadaver dogs and equipment and supplies and water and fucking, shots so you don't get the dysentery that's in the water. So it's not that. It's just that, number one, you're taking advantage. You're taking our kindness for weakness. You're stealing from us, and you're not even here legally. It's not like you came here legally and you need help. You broke in.
Right.
So you broke in and stole from us. But then not only that is that happening, but then they're turning around and telling us that the thieves who stole our money are better than us. They're better than you. They work harder than you. They love their children more than you do. You have so much, you owe it to them. Dude, there's no quicker way to get a tax-paying, hardworking person pissed off than to tell them who they owe and what's owed to somebody else that they don't know from a can of paint. So I'm all for it, man. I'm all for kicking people out who aren't supposed to be here. Oh, but they've been paying taxes and they've been here for 10 years. That's even worse. That's even worse. You're worse than somebody you've just been stealing for longer. And you've been here and made no attempts to assimilate, no attempts to get your shit together, to get your paperwork in order. You are even worse than somebody who just got here. So round them up, kick them the fuck out. And I just saw something where Trump said we are getting 30 to 50 million barrels of oil from Venezuela.
Good.
High quality sanctioned oil. So
yeah, we're getting that.
What's that supply and demand? So if there's a whole bunch of oil on the market, then that means the things that oil is used to make is going to be
You mean like all the
cheap.
Groceries and merchandise that travel by rail and semi-truck, they're going to go down in price because we're going to drop the price of gasoline?
Yeah, and at the pump, the price at the pump, to steal a phrase from every local news station. Drivers are getting hit with a new price at the pump. So yeah, the price at the pump is going to go down for once. It's not going to go north. It's going to go south. And let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you little sons of bitches living around the country. You're like, oh, I had to pay $2.75 for gas. I had to pay $3.25. Look,
I still pay $4.50.
Yeah, I don't want to hear shit. So flood that market with oil. Get those. What did Trump say? For every boat that was destroyed in Venezuela, that saves 25,000 lives. Because remember, fentanyl was taking over 100,000 Americans every year. Every 365 days, 100,000 plus.
Those are innocent fishermen, Jericho.
Oh, you're right. Because I remember every time I go fishing, I take 8 to 12 kilos of fentanyl with me, or cocaine.
Right.
Because people are stupid. Oh, I use earthworms. I use, this kind of nitro bait, whatever they call it. No, you put some cocaine or heroin on the end of your needle, on the end of your hook. You throw that in the water, and the fish go crazy. They'll even start trying to suck your dick on the boat for more of it. But I think once you get beyond a little personal use of cocaine, and once you have, shrink wrap bundles on the front of your boat, you're no longer a fisherman. You're a drug runner. And if those drug boats are, now in Davy Jones' locker along with the monsters that were bringing it, if it saves one American family from receiving the worst news of their life, then I'm all for it. And in the process, I get cheaper shit. Man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Right.
Love
absolutely.
It.
Yeah.
Mexico, Colombia, do it to all of them. All of them.
That's right. And Latina baddies, they can immigrate here. We do need to. America's population is stagnant and falling. So
yeah, the baddie numbers are down.
Yeah, we need them baddies in here. So when I say Latina baddie, I just feel like my wife must be watching the live stream. She's going to say
she will
something.
Be now.
Look at this.
She will be now.
I'm like, yeah, but you live in Ulaga.
Yeah, $2.13. Man, I'd be dancing in the streets for $2.13 gasoline. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get the gold from Venezuela too. I didn't know that Venezuela has the biggest oil reserves in the world.
And gold.
There you go. Well, I guess that's ours now.
They got more gold than.
I like all these galactic-sized pussies. Like there's international law. No,
that's enforced by who? Who enforces international law?
Do it.
We do.
The Western world became so cucked and so feminized. They don't recognize what a man looks and acts like. And when we act like it, they're like, oh. They have, it's like in the movie when the bully finally gets punched and gets knocked out, he doesn't know what to do. And they've been going to HR for so long and getting everyone canceled. And now they did enough calling us Nazis and all this stuff that we just don't even care anymore, because I'm not. And you can call me whatever you want. They just realize they can't do shit to us. You know, I was talking to TYRUS this morning, and we had a big meeting, the Unstoppable TYRUS, 128 pages. Oh, I can't wait. So exciting, the stuff me and TYRUS talked about. The book is done. I should be getting a shipment, just a preview copy shipment. I'll send one to Jericho and some other select friends. And then the campaign launches on the 20th. But we were talking about life and different things, and Jericho said that he told someone, you know, they were trying to fuck with him and bring him down and pull him into the mud. He said, I don't swim in the shallow end anymore. I'm standing up. And I'm like, and in my head, I pictured someone in 2 feet of water, like, hoo, hoo, hoo. And then they realized they just put their feet down and they're fine. You know, like, you ain't gonna drown in 2 feet, just stand up. You know, and like that's enough. Like, you call us Nazis, you try to cancel us, this, that, and the other. And it's like, oh, we don't have to play by your rules. You're not in charge. You know, it's like when Bane told that guy in the Batman movie, do you feel like you're in charge? You know, so yeah, you're not in charge. Call me a racist, a sexist, a bigot, a homophobe, whatever. I don't give a shit. You know, I know you cancel liberal people. You're so evil that if you don't like what I'm doing, I feel good about myself. It means I'm doing something good.
Yeah, you're fine. Just look at who's mad at it. Just look at who's mad at what you're doing, and that will tell you if what you're doing is right or not. And if the left, the progressives don't like what you're doing, or they wouldn't like your opinion or how you think or how your mind works, then you're doing great. You're doing just fine. And I wish that people wouldn't have to have this. Maybe this is the second great red pilling, you know, is people going back to, yeah, I don't have to take that anymore. I'm not going to deal with that. You're not going to call me that. I wish they never had to. I wish people would have always
call me that. Call me that and find out how much I don't give a fuck. Call me that. Because that's the thing. I heard Adam Carolla say this. I started listening to his podcast in 2011. So he quit Loveline. He was offered to be Howard Stern's replacement when Howard Stern left terrestrial radio for satellite. It didn't work out, I guess. It was like Adam Carolla was going to be the New York guy. Dan Ducci was going to be the West Coast guy. And they were going to like split the country after Howard Stern left. It didn't work out. Adam Carolla, he's basically like unemployed, and he starts a podcast because one of his friends recommends it. And he's like one of the biggest podcasters in the world, you know, 16, 17 years later. But he said what he loved about being a podcaster is that you build your own pirate ship. It's Adam Carolla's podcast, and no one can cancel him. No one can fire him. No one can do anything. He's got his computer. He's got his mic. He's got an internet connection. And that's what I love about big man comics, right? You can't do anything to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you didn't like my political opinion, so I have to go away. No, I don't. And in fact, now I'm going to do it harder, just for the satisfaction. Let me grab a drink, Jericho. My water ran out. I'm going to grab a seltzer from behind me.
Yeah, it's hard to cancel somebody or can somebody when they are the HR department. When they're the HR department that you're going to go complain to, it's kind of hard to get somebody canceled. Or I'm so sick of that word. That's what I hate. They take words that we use all the time and they fuck them all up. So now every time we use those words, every time you say the word cancel or something, you know, one of those words that they hijacked and perverted sucks because you can't help it.
Right. My brother Abe.
Idiots.
Shout out to Abe. Love my brother Abe. And Gabe gets to be Gabe. You're right. And Abe gets to be Abe. Abe doesn't work for himself, but he works in the oil field, my brother. He's a tough guy because he's going to be 50. He's going to be 49. And he's 49. He's working a young man's job, you know, driving trucks and hauling things and digging holes in the center of the earth, trying to look for oil. And he's an oil field guy. And he tells me he loves it because he's worked in offices. He was a therapist. He was a family psychotherapist before. That's his degree. But he says working in the oil field, it's all men. You can say anything you want. You can do anything you want. You didn't hear it from me, but maybe if there's a disagreement, people go out behind something and have a little fist fight and sort it out. It's like, it's the old ways. And he says he loves it, you know, so it's nice. So, but I wanted to talk to you. We'll get onto other things, but I wanted to show you something because I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. What is that from?
Pointer Sisters.
There you go.
I don't know if it's from a movie, but it's definitely a Pointer Sisters hit.
What do you think of this, Mr. Jericho? What do you think?
That's kick ass.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great? I mailed TYRUS a hat and the t-shirt. The t-shirt is that logo you see there, that like it's brush. It's not graffiti, but it's like it's real quick, energetic typeface. That shirt is what he's wearing here. You can't see it, but that's what he's wearing. I posted myself wearing it last week. I will definitely get you one. I only printed a handful of shirts, and I printed a couple books to send out to people ahead of time. So, just because. So on January 20th on bigmancomics.com, this book will go live on a crowdfund. It's already done. You don't have to worry about me getting crowdfunding money and then disappearing to the Bahamas and never giving you a book. Because I don't know if you know, or I don't know if you've heard, but in crowdfunding, there can be a little problem with giving artists up money up front. Well, I don't do that. I take the risk. I do the book, get it done, and then I do the crowdfund to facilitate all the printing and the shipping and all that good stuff. But the book exists; it's already here. And good news, I just got page 60 of Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2. That's a 69-page book. I'm going with shorter books so I can put them out more frequently. The plan for this year, no promise, is a book every quarter. So TYRUS in January, Dean Cain in April, then hopefully TYRUS 2 in July, and then Dean Cain 3 would be like in October, something like that. That's what I want to do. I got to write Dean Cain 3, and I got to write TYRUS 2. I got to write them before the end of the month. So the Ragu Overlord says the logo looks cool. Yeah, thank you, man. My degree actually from Northern Colorado University is in graphic design, so I thank God for the skills I have, because I can write comics, I can draw them, I can color them, I can do the lettering design, and I know how to set it up in the computer for the printer, and I know how to make the YouTube videos and promote and all that. So I feel really blessed. That's what Scott Adams, the great creator Gilbert, he calls it a talent stack. And he says you should be intentional with your talents and your interests to make sure they blend together like the delicious ingredients of a sandwich. Speaking of a sandwich, my wife, she's beautiful, gorgeous Latina, my wife. She's classy, though. Doesn't wear slutty clothes, was not a party girl. I was her only serious boyfriend. She ain't trampy. She ain't crude. She's not a crude lady. She's a classy.
Not a trollop.
No, she's a very classy woman, And we were recording a short YouTube video about a deli here in town, Cecil's on Morena Boulevard. Secretary, not sure. Go to Cecil's. It's a butcher shop and a deli. They make fabulous sandwiches. And we had a sandwich today. We shared it in the car because I don't eat like a pig anymore. And when I turned the sandwich to the camera, he stuffed this sucker with so much meat, dude. And he, you go to Subway, there's like 2 strips of meat. You can barely see it. I don't know who goes to Subway. I don't. But at Cecil's, it's like 1.5 inches of meat. I turn the sandwich to my wife and go, there's 1.5 inches of meat right there. And she just looks at me like, just starts laughing. And I'm like, Mrs. Eltaeb, you need to behave. It's a family YouTube channel. You're making jokes about how many inches of meat. Okay. I just thought it was funny because she's an accountant by trade, and she's very classy and straight-laced. Her hobbies are like, she has chickens, she pickles things, she dehydrates food and stores it. She's like super organized. For Christmas and her birthday, we're always getting her like, here's an emergency radio, here's some emergency solar panels. She's a good straight-laced person, and she like made a dirty joke, and it caught me off guard. I don't know how your wife is, but have you ever been caught off guard by your wife's behavior? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a good thing. And yes, in public, yes, you want your lady to exhibit the utmost class and dignity.
As they say, a lady in the streets.
Yeah, and to represent you well and your family well, but in the bedroom, in the privacy of your confines, yeah, it's supposed to get crazy in there. And I'm not sure. I mean, obviously one's a bigger turn on than the other, but your wife, being that, and modesty is a turn on, ladies. Modesty is a turn on. Now, are you going to attract guys? Are you going to get a guy dressing like in a slutty manner or presenting yourself that way? Yeah, for sure. That's not hard to do. You can step outside and do that.
Right.
But you can walk outside your door and pick any random dude. But, something that's quality, something that's going to last, that's how you have to present yourself, because that's what's attractive for the long term. You want to be there for a long time or a good time. If you want to be there for a long time, then don't look like a good time. Look like a long time, and the good time will come. But yeah, I mean, for sure, you're gonna get a dude because you can get flies with shit or honey.
Yep.
You know, you'll get them, but what kind are you getting? You know, how long do you want it to last? So definitely, you know, you don't got to be no damn Mormon with denim up to your fucking chin, but definitely leave plenty to the
The
imagination.
Canadian tuxedo. That's what I heard it called. Denim on denim on denim.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share a screen real quick. Here's the
Denim
video.
overload.
Here it is. You be the judge, because just take into account my wife's very, very pretty, but very classy. You're like a beautiful porcelain thing on your shelf. You know, you don't want to be rough with it.
Yeah, be careful, man.
Beautiful. Well, so I'm reviewing the food in the truck, the delicious food, and Secretary not sure he knows about this place. He gets the station 25. You can see over my shoulder there, Jericho. I think that's the fire station that sandwich is named after. Now, I got the turkey ham club, but watch my wife make a meat inches joke. Here we go. Watch this. It's funny to me. Those two salads. We can pause. We're going to check out the sandwich here in just a second. The sandwich, they make them for you fresh. Like Subway, only it's actually delicious with good ingredients. This is a turkey and ham club. It's got some avocado, I think. Does it have bacon? Do we get bacon on this? Cheese, mustard. That's the way I like it, with some pickles and everything. Look at the big pickle spear on the side. Look at that, guys. That's an inch and a half of meat. Okay, don't give me that look. My wife gave me that. That's what she said. Look, I'm gonna try this sandwich, and it's rated PG. Knock it off, lady. Behave, Mrs. Big Man Comments.
What a perv.
You know how it is. You know how it is.
I do. I'm all right with it.
But yeah, it's I don't know. We're having a good time. I'm very happy. Life is grand. I feel very blessed. I got a big baby. I got the wife. I got the kids. I get to do what I love for a living, and you know, it's going quite well. So I have no complaints, aside from the Democrats trying to destroy Western civilization. That minor wrinkle in life. So
yeah, well, they'll always be there.
It is weird why you would want to burn your own house down. Because I do
in
want to
it?
tell them, like, you live here too, guys.
Yeah, you dumbass.
My
You know you're
favorite
in
is
the
when
house too, right?
someone from Cuba or Venezuela or somewhere who escaped socialism and eating their own dog to survive tells the white liberal in Manhattan, "You don't want socialism. I just came from that." And they're like, "You don't know what you're talking about." Like, no, I know what I just came from that. Like, how would I? How would
Yeah.
you know what I not know? Like, it's insanity.
Dude, I did a video about the whole Maduro thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and part of it, I was like, dude, as long as the people in Venezuela are gathering by the hundreds of thousands to celebrate, and they're celebrating around the world, wherever there are Venezuelan people in this world, they're celebrating. So how far does why did you kidnap? You had Jasmine Crockett's old stupid ass on The View talking about he kidnapped him, and you give him back. He's a bad guy, but you went about it wrong. But the people who were under his thumb are in the streets cheering and crying. So something must have been done. Something right must have been done. So, you know, take your fake concern and your hands off the Venezuelan people. Take that and stick it up your fucking ass sideways, because it's more fake fucking outrage. And they're professionally offended, and there might be something that you're part of a certain group. Somebody says something that could be offensive to that group, but you don't give a shit. But
Right.
some guilt-ridden white liberal gets more offended about it than you do. So, but how is that? You can't be more offended about something that's meant for me. And that just shows the disingenuous nature of it. You don't give a fuck. You don't care about those Venezuelan people. What about when Sloppy Joe upped the ante, up the bounty to 25 million? You didn't say, hey, somebody's going to take their dictator. He's a good guy. Don't do that. No, you didn't say shit. But Trump does it. You don't even care. You're just mad that Trump did something.
It is weird. And I do wish that these leftists would handle their mental illness in private and quit putting it on our movies and our comic books and our TV shows and in our politics and our academia. Quit it. Like, dude, we get it. Your dad hurt you. You hate your dad. We get it. Don't let that color and control everything in your life. The great, I don't agree with everything he says, but Carl Jung, one of the fathers of psychology, he said, until the subconscious is made conscious, it will control people's lives. Leftists, the thing they all have in common is real wounded hearts, a wounded inner child, resentment, bitterness, hatefulness towards their father, particularly their father, maybe their mother, but definitely their dad. And they hate Trump because it's a dad. And they hate masculinity because it's a dad. And they hate capitalism because that's a dad. They hate tradition because that's a dad. It's there, and they don't know it. It's 1,000 feet below the water with puppet strings, and it's pulling on their entire life all day, every day. And they're doing stuff on like this psychological autopilot of hating how much their father hurt them or whatever. They didn't. They have a horrible relationship with him. And they let that drive their entire life. And like Alcoholics Anonymous says, you got to admit a problem exists before you could solve it. If they don't admit that that's really what all of this is, then they'll just keep going the way they are. It's terrible. My buddy, our boyfriend of the show, Dean Cain, he posted, I saw the Chicago Democrats voted for a 100% tax increase and then had an outdoor protest against Trump because of all of the money problems.
So fucking stupid. And you see the things where they go down there and put a microphone in their face. Why are you here? I don't even know. Or they'll tell them, yeah, so blah, blah, blah. So Trump is racist. What's a racist thing he said? Oh, well, he said that. No, actually, that's been debunked. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, fuck, I don't know. Like, come on, man. You don't even know why you're out there, which proves that you're driven by your emotions. You're easily led astray if somebody can get you emotionally attached to something. And you're to the point where you're out here. You should be at work. It's like 11:15 on a random Wednesday. Why are you not at work somewhere? Why aren't you doing something? Why are you on the sidewalk? And then not only are you out here, I guess you're protesting. I think that what they do is an insult to actual protest. But you're out here and you don't even know why you're here.
Well, they're paid. That's why they don't know why they're there. That's why they don't have any coherent arguments. It's politics. It is politics. They want to create the appearance of a movement, and then that's persuasion to the populace for voting and everything and policy down the road. And the politician can say, well, I didn't want to do blah, blah, but 50,000 were in the street chanting for it. And like they were paid to be there. Because one of my favorite ones is all the illegals. Oh, nobody is illegal and all these poor illegals. And then you ask the white liberal woman from Massachusetts, okay, well, how many can we sign you up for to live in your house? You put the mic in your face. Oh, well, you're don't have room, have to ask my husband or NIMBY, not in my backyard. It's like when someone signs you up to do something. Hey, Jericho, I told my friend Brian you'd lend him your truck. What?
Fuck,
you got a couch. You got a couch. You want to move? You got a truck.
I don't give a
fuck. How fucking mad would you be if someone did that?
Yeah. I mean, you better call that motherfucker back. I'm not doing that.
No, come on. It's for his mom, and she lost her husband, and they got to move this couch, and then you're like guilted into this shit.
You know what? What's really disheartening? When you see protesters out there, but the worst is when you see older protesters.
I got a theory on that.
You're supposed to be, and I remember the day that I realized this isn't true. But you look at older people as wiser, as having been where you're going. You've been down that road. You've been around that corner. Tell me what's coming. I will sit at your feet, old timer, regale me with tales of what's to come.
Right.
And then you sit down and what are you talking? What? No kings, motherfucker. You're 70. What are you doing out here?
Here's the thing.
What do you tell your grandkids? How'd you raise your children? Holy shit. I'll tell you
what that is. Because, all the Trump protesters now, they're old. They're like, you go out there and they're boomers in their 70s approaching 80. And you're like, I thought old people were more conservative. I thought they were wise, like you said. And generally they are. But this batch of them, you say, well, does someone that owns a bunch of barbells, a squat rack, a bench press, they own all the primo equipment, top flight, and they've owned it for years. Would they be really strong from owning it?
No.
If
so, we'd all own it.
You'd have to use it. You can't own it. So just living life, if you don't have discipline and like, oh, I did that and it fucked me up, I won't do it again. And you learn from life, then your age will give you wisdom. But so the reason these people are so bitter and they hate Trump and they're out in the street. And I yelled at one like a sarcastic remark the other day. I was driving somewhere with my wife. We were in California, like in the desert places. We were driving between here and Yosemite. And there were a bunch of, it was in Ramona, California, a mountain town in the outskirts of San Diego, which is a very conservative area. But there was like 10 or so liberals on the main drag in Ramona. And they had signs like ICE agents or terrorists, this, that, and the other. And there was this old lady that had one up. And I said, he's your president for 3 more years. And just kept driving. And she's like looking at me. And but here's what it is, the old protesters. Here's exactly what it is. They know, because they are wise from age, like they can recognize a pattern. They know they became a hippie in the late 50s, 60s, sex, drugs, rock and roll. I'm a woman. I can have the job, the kid, the career, divorce, blah, blah, blah. No rules. Dad doesn't know anything. They lived a liberal life their whole life, and they know they wasted their life. They know it. They see it. How could they not see the scoreboard now? They live this far left, no God, no king, no master, just all me, 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 me. And it fucked them. It fucked them bad. And their life is mostly over. I'm not wishing death on anyone. I'm just doing math. If they're in their 70s or their 80s, it's a lot less left than there was before. And they're mad and they're bitter that they wasted their life, and they're going down with the ship out of spite. That's what it is. It's pride, narcissism, and ego. Dr. Drew, the brilliant Dr. Drew, Adam Carolla's friend, he had me on his show like 2 months ago. We did a podcast. And I remember him talking about that Trump derangement syndrome in his psychological, and he's an expert psychologist, right? He's a board certified, doctor. He said that Trump derangement syndrome is a marker for narcissism, in his opinion. And I think that's very true. Trump ain't perfect. We don't love everything Trump does. Sometimes Trump does something. I'm like, what the blue? Like talking to my wife or my son, but we voted for him 3 times. I'll vote for him 300 more if I need to. But Trump derangement, I think it's based on narcissism. I really do. Can't stand him.
It's really weird how 2 people can look at the same thing and get 2 completely different things from it. Like, how do you look at the people, the Venezuelans celebrating, and get anything other than they're happy about this?
Right.
Like, forget how you feel about it. The people who are on the ground dealing with his dictatorial bullshit, they're happy about it. So why wouldn't that cause you to take a step back and think, why are they happy?
Well, instead of it's against international law. International law. It's
that we enforce. We enforce
no international law. But no, it's not like, above our Constitution.
But I think I guess in terms of the UN, they're supposed to be the international world force who, if somebody's getting out of hand or if somebody picks on someone in our UN gang, we're all going to gear up and go over there and do something about it. So I think in that sense, if that's what they mean, either way, if there's some international law that they think supersedes everybody else's, their own personal laws or their national laws, in that case, or if it's the UN, we would be the enforcers. There's nobody else around the world who's going to make anybody do anything except us. There's no one else who's afraid. No one else has the ability. Could China or Russia do it? I guess. But it's us, motherfucker.
I mean, you were in the military. I wasn't. I am known as a pretty good pattern recognizer and figurer outer of things. I don't think the entire world could take on America combined. I don't think so.
Most of the world would be too afraid.
Yeah.
Most of the world would grab the lining of our pocket and follow us around wherever we went. They would give us no problems whatsoever. Some of those countries, we give them their fucking weapons. So you ain't gonna do shit. The 99% of the world would get behind us and shiver in our shadow.
They said, Chinese and Russian, those air-to-ground trucks with the rockets and the Chinese radar, and they didn't see any of our stuff. I saw that the Venezuelan Air Force, if you can call it that, had 21 fighter jets and 4 American F-16s from like 20 years ago. So they had a grand total. Hold on. We need sound effects for this. They gave me some new sound effects here. A grand total of 25 fighter jets. How many fighter jets do you guys have on your carriers, Jericho?
Between 90 and 100. So there's more than 3 times.
And one of ours has 90 to 100. Fuck out of here.
not only 90 to 100, but 90 to 100 of the most state-of-the-art, technologically advanced aircraft to ever be flown in the great blue yonder. They got some.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That would be like you giving some markers and paints and stuff that you've used. They've been dulled down, they're nubs, but you don't want to throw them away. So you got some kid down the street who wants to get started. Hey, Mr. Eltaeb, can you? So here you go, kid. These are my blah, blah, blah. And then you go out and buy all brand new, best of, top of the line. It feels like butter in your hand, brushes and pens and whatever the fuck. So you have the superior equipment and the skill. They have diminished equipment and little to no skill. So you're going to, like, I'm trying to think of like a famous fight scene where it was totally one-sided and the good guy just...
It's every Steven Seagal movie. He just throat punches people and they fall down.
Like, it would be if America really... Like, if these little teeny tiny fuckers like Venezuela, and you got the president of Colombia saying, come and give me fucking blah, blah, blah. Hey, you saw what happened to you saw what happened to Maduro and his fucking wife. So watch out. But if all these little fuckers around the world, the Irans of the world and the Venezuelas and the Colombias and the fucking, if we really turned around and said, you know what, you little son of a bitch, you're going to get the attention you've been asking for. You've been tugging on my fucking cape, and I'm going to turn around and give you the full might of the U.S. military. It would be a fucking hungry grizzly bear on a fucking lamb. Like, bleh, just a little... Are you kidding me? We would walk through all of those countries. It would be like Fist of the North Star at the end while the buildings are collapsing and they're breaking on his head. We wouldn't even like when feel you.
Ken does all those moves to that guy in Fist of the North Star, and he goes, "You're already dead." And the guy's like, "What?" Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then he explodes.
We wouldn't even feel you. You wouldn't slow our path in the slightest bit by 1/1,000,000th of a mile per hour. You wouldn't slow us down at all. We wouldn't even. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that 15 countries? We just disemboweled. Like, yeah, that's why when they say, "Oh, he's declaring war," Venezuela, please take one of your rickety Chinese Walmart rockets and fire it over however many countries are between us and let it land on American soil, please. Please. Please declare war on America. You will be eviscerated. You can't even put it into words what would happen. It's Mike Tyson in 1988 versus a 95-year-old old lady.
Let's see Ken destroying this guy in Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star is like a Mad Max post-apocalyptic thing. There's guys that have insane cartoonish comic book style like martial arts skills. There are some of these dudes are like 10 feet tall, 700 pounds. They fight with crazy superhero powers. Ken, the hero, the guy with the beard, he beats the shit out of this guy, but the guy doesn't feel it. But the way the power works, he like punches him 1,000,000 times, and the guy's like, ha ha ha, whatever. And he's like, you're already dead. And then the guy explodes. Watch this. So there you go. There you go. He didn't see that coming.
That's exactly how it would be. It would be like in less than 24 hours. You ever seen a fight where the one fighter doesn't even get hit? Like, you don't have to take a shower after the fight. He didn't break a sweat.
Some of those late
they put that Vaseline. They put that Vaseline on his face for nothing.
Right. The late 80s, early 90s Mike Tyson. Ding. On
a 95-year-old woman. Right. He would punch through her torso.
I don't wonder if an old lady would die if Mike Tyson punched her. She would die. I wonder if her head would come off. I wouldn't want it to happen. I just wonder, though. You know, just the most frail, you know, She's 87 pounds, 4'1", tiny little frail woman, and he just gives her the pure Mike Tyson just blast, you know.
Maybe in an animated series, I'd want to see that, but I would want to see Mike Tyson fight an old lady and just totally just fucking destroy her. Oh,
I love people like, oh, Trump got us into another forever war that was like 38
really?
minutes long. No, if it was Bush or Obama, it'd be 17 years and, 5,000 troops and 200,000 Venezuelans.
Yeah, it'd be in the Middle East.
Dead. $20 trillion spent on who knows what, not even warfare, just grift. And Maduro would still be in power, or someone worse would take over for him afterwards.
He would get more powerful somehow. Right. He would get more powerful and have more money when we finally did a worse pullout than a kid on senior prom night. You kidding me?
The last time I pulled out as bad as Biden in Afghanistan, I ended up a father, okay?
Yeah, dude, come on, man.
That was a Norm Macdonald joke, just not delivered in his voice. Last time I pulled out, I can't do the voice. You could do it, though. How do you do the Norm Macdonald voice? What is it?
It's almost like that.
I don't know how. Yeah, I can't do it. I never tried it before, but I can't do it yet.
Dude, Canada makes a lot of funny people. What's up with that?
Because it sucks living there, and I think they cope.
Go by developing a skill.
Would you like to live in a frozen country that's communist ruled? Would you like that?
No, I would not want to live on a frozen tundra. But they do. Like Canadians, some of the funniest people in cinema history are Canadian.
Jim Carrey,
aforementioned, Norm Macdonald, John Candy.
Oh, what a great! You know what I just saw for the first time on New Year's Eve? I told my wife, let's watch a movie, because as I told you before, I don't drink or do drugs or smoke, so I don't really party. So I'm not going out to a New Year's party. You told me, hey, you can start. That's what you told me.
Don't be.
I said, let's watch a John Candy, John Hughes movie, and they've got quite a few bangers together. And Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Anyone? We watched The Great Outdoors with a great performance by Dan Aykroyd as Roman, the prick brother-in-law.
The asshole brother-in-law who swindles him out of some cash. Yeah, that's one of my wife's all-time favorite movies. But yeah, that's a classic family for everybody in the family. The kids, they'll do the bear. When he shoots the bear's ass and the hair comes off, that made me laugh so hard. And it was perfect comedy writing, because the movie's a comedy and it's a bit dramatic. There's family intrigue and there's love in there with the family. But there's a scary bear story. They're camping in the great outdoors, blah, blah, blah. They're living in a lodge, not camping. But at the end, there's a bear attack inside the lodge, and John Candy has this shotgun, a rifle, and he has to kill it to save the family. And in my head, as he's aiming down the sights, I'm like, well, they wrote themselves into a corner here. Because I always think as a writer now, because I write so much stuff, and it's like, man, they wrote themselves into a corner, because this movie was like funny and heartfelt, and now he's got to shoot a bear through the spine and kill it. Killing a fucking animal in front of children. In front of the family.
And blood's forever. And instead, when he shoots it, the hair flies off of its butt. It has these giant bear butt cheeks, and it runs out the door screaming. And that is the bookend of earlier in the story. This bear was a man-eater, and it got shot in the head, but it only blew the hair off the top of its head. So now it has matching bald ass, bald head, the bear. It was actually very corny, but very funny. So I like
Hilarious.
Yeah.
We watched that. We've seen that quite a few times with our kids. One of my wife's favorite movies. But yeah, it's hella funny. But John Candy, like you said, John Candy, John Hughes, they just had a run. John Hughes, also, without John Candy.
A bit of a run there. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, Say Anything, The Breakfast Club, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
All of them. He had all those movies.
Home Run, or Home Alone. I don't know if you've heard of it. He did have movies I fucking hate, and I didn't know he was responsible for it. Those National Lampoon movies. I watched Christmas Vacation on Christmas or the day before. That is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's where we differ.
Was intolerable to me. That movie was awful, in my opinion.
Nope. That movie is a Christmas classic.
That is such a hateful movie. Jeez.
But see, I think again, these are one of the classic, iconic movies from people in our age groups, childhood.
But it's
you didn't see it,
Jericho.
but you didn't see it. No, you didn't see it until you were an adult. So you don't have the nostalgia and the initial introduction. Well, I guess initial introduction would be redundant, but you don't have that introduction to it as a kid. You have it as an adult, so you already have all your experience, and you know
I would have never been allowed to watch that as a child. It's trash.
True. That's why you never saw it as a child. But
yeah,
for those of us who did watch those movies as a child, that movie is fucking hilarious.
I hated it.
Because where are you gonna put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you. You got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold. I wasn't talking to you. Come on, man. When the grandma starts singing the national anthem.
She sings it. What did she sing it wrong, or she sings the wrong song?
No, she was supposed to do that was at the end. But she was supposed to do the prayer, and she started singing like a song or something. I can't remember. It was America the Beautiful or some shit. And they just joined in with her. Dude, that movie is hilarious, man. But you only saw it as an adult, so you're going to see it totally different. As a kid, having that nostalgia, that movie's almost perfect for Christmas.
Rem Dog, I don't know anything about the Persians fighting to get their country back. In general, other than the general like tension between the U.S., Israel, Iran, I don't know anything about that really. So I know here in Southern California, you can't turn over a rock without finding a Persian, and they are great people. They're super family oriented, and they're super good at business. My son works with a bunch of them. My babysitter that would watch me for half an hour in the morning before I would go to school in 3rd grade. My mom had to leave to go be a teacher, single mother. So me and my brother Abe, when I was 8, we would go to Victoria's house. Victoria Ashigian. She was like 75 years old, an old granny. Her family ran jewelry stores here in town. She was a Persian who escaped the Shah and all that, like in the 70s. There, tons of Persians came to Southern California, came to America, but came to Southern California, Los Angeles, San Diego in the 70s with the whole fall of the Shah and all that stuff. Other than that, I don't know a lot about it. I like Persian people. They're similar. They like me. They like my son because, we're Arab, right? My dad's from Libya, so we're Middle Eastern. So we got that whole, it helps my son in business. It is funny. So, don't know anything about it, really. Don't know the details. I want everyone to be free. I'm an American. How could I not? I want it to be like Trump says. Trump is America first. He should always do what will help us and not others. But the president of Mexico should do what helps Mexico. And the president of China, they're like, yeah, it's competition. That's how we'll get the best. Iron sharpens iron. If everybody's competing, it'll force us all to get better. That's what should be going on. I like this comment. Diesel says he was denied entry into Canada in 2016 because he had a DUI in 2013. Can you believe that? Seems a little weird that they wouldn't let you into an entire country because you had a DUI.
Did here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've been to Canada a few times. I'm sure they got good places, but you didn't miss that much, man.
He lost out on $1,000 for his hotel in downtown Vancouver.
Oh, dude, now that's the worst part.
My son and I lost it wasn't a lot. It was $1,200 on a Mexico City trip. Last spring break, we were going to Mexico City for a day and a half to go to the big UFC fight in the big arena there in Mexico City. And we go to the airport in Tijuana because it's 20 miles. If you fly out of San Diego, it's 10 miles more, right? But it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars more. But if you just cross the border into Tijuana and get on the Mexican airline, you save so much money. Here was the problem. You have to go to customs before you can go on your gate and get on the plane. It was the Friday of spring break, and we didn't do the calculus on that. So we got to that line where they put up the velvet rope to zigzag. Yeah. It took 50 minutes to go through customs, and we missed our flight by 5 minutes. So we just fuck it. The tickets on the UFC were $500. The hotel was $500-700, and the plane tickets, I think we lost $1,200-1,500, and we just ate it. I think my son tried to sell the UFC tickets. I don't remember if he did or didn't, but that sucked. That sucked. But we laughed about it when it happened. Okay, well, it wasn't meant to be, and hey, we'll remember it. We ended up going to Mexico a few weeks later on we took everyone, the whole family. So, but I feel you, Diesel, on that. That sucked to be frustrated by like that. So,
and to lose it to Canada.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. None the Miser had the same experience. He couldn't get in. He has family in Toronto, and he must have had also a DUI in 2016 or 2013. Him and
Fucking
Diesel were
party
taking turns
animals.
driving together drunk.
Yeah, watch him and Diesel be like, yeah, dude, I was going down this road. Me too. Dude, when was it? Oh, no, it was me. Remember me? Fucking puke face. Oh, that was you.
They shared a jail cell together.
Dude.
There's a famous attorney in Colorado. You know your local attorney, wherever you live, Better Call Saul, right? Your guy that you think he may be a scumbag. He's operating in the gray area of the law. I'm not alleging that any of that is true because this man is a lawyer and he will not sue me because I'm not going to say anything about him. There's a guy in Colorado, Frank D. Azar, the strong arm of the law, and he runs commercials and billboards and bus signs. And if you spend any time in Colorado, you know who Franklin D. Azar is, right? My cousin John got arrested and went to jail for the night or whatever. And he told me, my cousin John,
for the evening,
he told me that in his cell was a man claiming to be Franklin D. Azar and was arguing with the cops to let him out. Do you know who I am? And I donate to police. I don't know if any of this is true, but it sounded true and it made me laugh really hard. That strong arm of the law may have been behind bars himself. I don't know if that's true. It's a story my cousin John told me. Do not sue me, Franklin D. Azar.
Well, if he's in jail and he has the best lawyer,
let me look that up.
Get yourself out.
Franklin. Well, they say a man that has himself for an attorney has a fool for a client. Azar DUI.
Unless he's an attorney. He's an actual attorney.
Let's see. Franklin Azar DUI. Let's see. There's a whole Reddit Denver. Please share your wildest Frank Azar stories. Wait, here's a Facebook post. Anyone remember Frank Azar and his DUI? I can't remember how I heard about this, but I vividly remember the statement about DUI stops and Frank runs away with them. See, this is all alleged. I don't know. Colorado Springs drunk driving accident lawyer. What? Holy shit. Okay. I don't want to get into this because I don't want to say something about a lawyer that isn't true. But my cousin told me that happened. And the irony was very sweet to me, if that allegedly happened.
You get a cease and desist in the mail. You're like, what the fuck? Dude,
hey, I'm not lying about anything. I am saying my cousin told me that happened. I'm not saying it happened. I'm saying my cousin told me that happened. You know what? It's funny that you say this, Rem Dog, about me missing my flight to Mexico. This is what you're talking about. I'm sure he says, you never know when God is protecting you from something when you're delayed. Yeah, you know, me and my son talk about that. We didn't make the gate. We quite literally missed it by 3 minutes. And I said, hey, it's God's plan. And he thought the same thing. He's so mature for his age, my son. It's like, it's God's plan. We're not supposed to go. Maybe something funny would happen in Mexico if we went. Maybe something would happen to mom and your sister while we were gone. I don't know. Let's go home. My wife felt 100 times worse than we did. I called her from the Starbucks at the Mexican airport. Said, can you come and get us? So if it wasn't spring break that morning, we would have made our flight. But there were so many college students in their pajamas with neck rolls and all. You know how girls dress when traveling like scumbags.
Just fucking chlamydia and Plan Bs all through the fucking gross.
And they were all there with San Diego State and the USD, and they all had their college T-shirts and sweaters. I'm like, oh my god, all these kids are going to Mexico too. Like, oh, what day is it? It's the beginning of spring break. We should have got here an hour ago.
All you whores going down to Mexico.
But I went to Mexico a month or two later, and it was just an amazing trip. Go to Mexico if you can afford it. You can go cheap. You can go anywhere in the world cheap if you look around. I loved Mexico City. Some of the best food I've ever had, and there are real pyramids. Real, gigantic pyramids. It was amazing. So,
yeah, Egypt doesn't have the stranglehold on pyramids.
No, and you know what? Egypt may have pyramids. They don't have Latina baddies. I will tell you that.
Nope.
In Mexico City, apparently this is where they make Latina baddies, is the country of Mexico. So
it's one of their number one hubs for Latina baddie production.
Maybe that's the real angle here with Trump and Venezuela. We're taking the oil and the gold, sure, but really we're going after the baddies. That's what we're really doing,
Trump, thank you.
Yeah.
We owe him a thank you. Thanks,
how come they're called Latina baddies? And how come we don't say that about other races of women? Where did that come from? I do like it as a phraseology, but
I don't know. Maybe it just rolls off the tongue better.
I don't know. Yeah, there is something about that. The Spaniards and the natives combining their genetics to create this hybrid, unstoppable woman. Here we go. This is a perfect example. I have no idea. I just Googled Latina baddie. when you take the Arab Spaniard, and then you take the Native Americans of Central and South America, this is what you get, people. It's over. It's over for everyone else. It's over. Look at my wife in the chat. She's all, you have Latina baddies at home.
Dude, on it.
How does she catch me when I'm doing this?
Is there some transmitter that sends a signal?
Oh, jeez. She's got one of those keyloggers on my computer. Like when you're typing. I had a buddy that got caught cheating on his girl and she installed the software to like catch everything he was typing. So maybe my wife has a keylogger on my computer, and then she has an AI read what I'm typing into the computer, and then it tells them.
And it flags keywords.
Right.
It flags Latina and baddie.
It's not a picture of me. I just wrote Latina baddie into the image search and just pulled one up.
In other words, if it's not a picture of me, it better not.
I'm not going to put you out there like a piece of meat. And I told everyone what you said about the 1.5 inches of meat on that sandwich. It's a dirty joke.
Perv.
Yeah. So I'm not in any trouble. Oh, I got a new persona. Did I tell you about this, Jericho?
No.
I go by Bulldog now.
Really? I don't think I'll be calling you that. But
well, there's a guy I love on YouTube. He travels the world. His name is Kurt Kaz. And he's a young kid from South Africa, and he travels the world, all over South America and all that. But lately, he's been going to Europe because he is a German South American, and he's been talking about the insane immigrants like ruining the country, they're illegals and all that stuff. And but he was talking about being in South America, how much he loves Latinas, and he said he's a bulldog with the Latinas. And I told my wife I was that way too, and I told her I wanted her to call me Bulldog. So now she's calling me Bulldog. So, I like it.
You've created a monster.
Hey, it's me, Bulldog.
Hey, fool. They call me Bulldog. Yeah, I won't call you that, but that's cool.
We need an old school rematch. 49ers versus Broncos in Super Bowl. Yeah.
Sounds good.
No, it's going to be Seahawks and Broncos. The Niners had it if they could get the home field, but now the Niners have to go to the Eagles, and the ref that is reffing that game like grew up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he's refereed the Eagles 9 times, and they're 8-1. This cannot stand. They can't let that guy ref the game. They can't do that.
They're about to be 8-2. No, that's fine, dude. The number one, the Seahawks aren't playing like that every week. They're a division rival. A lot was on the line, and they don't have the defense that the Seahawks have. They can be ran on.
Yeah.
And Fangio, he's a great coordinator, and the Niners had him back in the Harbaugh days. But I think this one is definitely more winnable than the Seahawks, even though it's in Philly.
Well, shit.
With their disgusting fans.
Well, here's a little bit in your favor. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I pulled it up on NFL.com, I think, or no, it's on Google. Hopefully these are West Coast times and not East Coast times, because if East Coast times, you're in trouble. Because as we know, historically in the NFL, the West Coast teams, Denver and West, if they play on the East Coast at 10 a.m., they lose 78% of the time. 49ers are not playing at 10 a.m. They're playing at 1:30. This is good. This is good. I thought they were going to get jammed and play at 10 a.m. The Bills are playing at 10 a.m., but they are visiting the Jags, but they are an East Coast team anyway. So
and you have a bye week, right?
Denver's got the bye week because they're the top team in the league, and they will be winning the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They got an elite defense, dude. They got an elite defense. They are 4 sacks away from the NFL record for sacks in a single season. You know, I
get you guys have a great defense, which is just the Niners players. But how's Bo Nix? Which Bo Nix is showing?
I think Bo Nix? I think Bo Nix is. I think the one that will show up is the guy who has the most 20-yard plus touchdowns in the league the last 2 years. Okay. Right. I think he. Do you know who has the NFL record for most wins in their first 2 seasons? Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
24 wins in his first 2 years. No one in the 100-something year history of this league, not Tom Brady, not Peyton Manning, not John Elway, not Dan Marino, none of them did that. He's really good. And for some reason,
how many years has he been in the league?
There's this weird fake thing about him in the media that he's like not the guy. He is the fucking guy. I've seen him
I'm just saying, Is this his second year?
Last year and 17 and this year, he is the guy. He's a 15-year franchise guy.
Is this his second year in the league?
This is his second year. Second year.
Okay, well, that stat you just gave about the 24 blah blah whatever victories, more than half of them came this year off of one good season.
No,
that's like 10 wins last year.
He had 10. 10, that's huge to win 10. That's playoff making. They did make
10 and 7. 10 and 7, that's like barely making the playoffs.
They made it.
You're one game away from 9 and 8. That's a shit record to get in the playoffs with. So Bo Nix has had one really good season with a really good defense that are 49er transplants. Is that what you're telling me?
Do teams do good without good play? The defensive player of the year.
Did I just make a true statement or not? It's off of one really good season.
Well, you're making an incomplete statement with false framing. You're leaving out a lot of other things that really matter.
Well, actually, it was a question.
The defense was really good before the 49ers got there. It was an elite defense last year. The defensive player of the year.
I wouldn't say it's an elite defense if
it lets 17 player of the year, the reigning DPOY, is a Bronco. Patrick Surtain II. That's from last year's defense. He's the defensive player of the year. Come on. Okay. Nick Benito had like 16 sacks last year. He's one of the best defensive ends in the league last year. Got himself a $98 million contract.
Well, that proves my point. That proves my point. Bo Nix is having this great season with a much improved defense with a bunch of 49er transplants.
And why were the 49ers idiots to let those guys go?
Because they're injury prone.
Greenlaw's awesome, but he's played 5 games this year.
Exactly. When he's in there, he's a psychopath.
He's a monster when
he's hurt. He's a hurt. That's why they got him. But I don't have anything against the Broncos until we play them. And at this point, since it's the playoffs, it won't be to the Super Bowl. So go Broncos.
They're gonna be.
But once we beat you in the Super Bowl,
Brock Purdy gonna be looking like Chicken Little out there against the Broncos.
Okay, we'll see when you don't have Greenlaw and Ufunga because they're hurt.
He'll be there, damn it. They're gonna juice Greenlaw up with everything they have. They're gonna tape him back together.
Okay, until that Achilles pops again. Until that Achilles goes.
Oh, in like 2 weeks ago, he was chasing a guy out of bounds, and then he grabs his hamstring. I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, and dude, he'll hit somebody out of bounds. He'll get you a 15-yarder in the beginning of the game. He's a savage.
I think he plays so hard that he just hurts himself too.
Yeah, he's like 15% pit bull.
Yeah,
but when he's out there,
look at Diesel living in the 80s still. 49ers beat the Donkeys 55-10 in Super Bowl 24. Bro, we're on Super Bowl 60. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It did happen. It did happen though.
It did happen. That's true.
It did.
Oh yeah. We got to have a gentleman's bet officially tonight. The audience knows me well. They know Jericho well. So here we're going to have 2 levels of bets because we don't know how far our teams are going to get. So whoever team gets further, the other guy loses. Now, what if the Broncos and the Broncos already got further than the Niners. So the Niners got to win this week or I win the bet because the Broncos get further. So what happens if the Niners lose this week? What do you have to do? What do you hate? What am I going to make you do?
What do you mean? Of course, the Broncos are probably going to go farther. You guys already have a bye week this week,
right? So the Niners gotta nut up. They gotta win this week, and then they meet the Broncos. No, they don't meet the Broncos, but they get the same round as them. But like for instance, for me, if the Broncos do worse than the Niners in the playoffs, then I got to eat fish or something. Something like that. What's food that grosses you out? I want to make you eat it. What do you hate?
I don't like coconut.
You don't like? Oh, that's right.
Coconut.
You don't disgusting. Like coconut, but that isn't disgusting. Like eating, like abalone or something.
If I don't like it, it is. Coconut's disgusting.
But it doesn't smell and it's not sticky and goopy.
But I still hate it.
Is it the disgusting. Food you hate the most?
I would say, coconut. I don't like liver. Liver's disgusting.
Ooh, coconut crusted fried liver.
What the fuck? Then you better eat.
It can't be raw.
What is it?
I think
no.
Raw
What is
it? Is dangerous, so I won't eat it. I will eat.
There's some kind of lobster dish where
I'm not eating
the lobster
fish. I'm not eating a bug. That's disgusting, dude.
It lives in the ocean. It's a fucking fish. It's seafood. It's seafood.
No.
There's some kind of dish where a lobster tail is stuffed with like a seafood, like paste, like crab meat kind of paste.
No.
So yeah, you'd have to eat that shit. But I'm not eating no
wanna do
liver.
this.
There's no fucking way.
Why don't you
There's
make
no
me
way
eat
I'm
a
eating
hot
that.
pepper or something? You know, I could take the burn. It wouldn't be
Fuck
gross.
all
It
that.
would just
You
be
like
fine.
peppers. It wouldn't be much of a bet if I made you eat something you like.
I bet I ate that chip where they sell the one chip that's hot for like $7. I took a nibble like that, and I can eat anything hot. Couldn't have any more. I had to have ice water for the next 15 minutes. It was horrific, too. Would you eat a Mounds
That's
bar?
like saying, no, fuck am I? Ew, no, coconut's fucking gross. But me making you eat a pepper, that's like, Gabe, if you lose, you got to go get a double fucking animal style at In-N-Out. Oh, fuck, please, no.
I was trying to trick you.
Yeah.
I was trying to trick you the way little kids try to trick you, you know?
Nice
Did they make
try.
coconut stuffing?
Oh, that is
Yeah.
that's a war crime. You're gonna be standing next to those old Nazi soldiers for
liver.
that one.
We'll marinate
Fuck
liver
that.
overnight in buttermilk. Okay, so it's nice and tangy. Then we dry it off and then we season it. We dip it in a little flour, then egg, and then in crushed up shredded coconut, and then fry it. So it's coconut fried liver. Come on. I'll come to your house and make it.
Nope.
That's what we should do. The loser has to be served a meal by the other one.
That is utterly disgusting.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter crackers. What do we Rim Dog?
Team
never creamy.
Cream.
That's the rule. You don't have to ask. The never creamy. I don't want creamy peanut butter.
Team cream on the scene.
I love peanut butter, and creamy peanut butter tastes delicious, but it doesn't have the texture. It doesn't have the crunch in it.
Come on.
Forget about that coconut fried liver. I wouldn't mind coconut fried shrimp though. Loser has to eat spotted dick while saying, I love this spotted dick. Now, eating spotted dick would not be a problem for Jericho. What's in it? Let's find out what's in it. I'm Googling spotted dick. I got to be very careful here. Spotted dick is a British dessert. See, we should have Matthew Marsden on. I was talking to Matthew this morning.
Isn't it?
This is spotted
America,
dick.
That means something different.
Here's spotted dick. Okay, it looks like a cake with those chocolate chips. Are those what the spots are? Spotted dick is a classic British steamed pudding served with homemade custard sauce. Would you like some dick with custard sauce?
Hey, who wants some dick? I'm going in the kitchen. Why do they call it that? Why is it called? Why of all things would you name that spotted dick?
It was something about Old English, and it was like instead of pudding, it was like podick. It was like the old word, like podick instead of pudding, and then it ended up being shortened to dick. It was something like that.
But why in the fuck would you choose that?
I don't know. And then I gotta say,
even call it like spotted pudding or something. That'd be cool.
There's spotted dick for you. You like the custard oozing on the dick there, Jericho?
Dude, what's a spotted dick without warm white sauce on it? Without cum on it? What the fuck? Why would you name it that?
I bet it's tasty. I mean, it just looks like the sweet. Those are probably raisins, though, right?
They better not be. Those better not be fucking raisins. Britain.
I think they are.
Britain.
Let me
Those better be chocolate chips. It's too old for chocolate. Britain's too old for chocolate chips. All their shit's old. It's all fucking old.
Yeah, made with dried fruit.
Ew.
Yeah, so those are raisins. I would love that. I love raisins. I love dried fruit.
I mean, raisins are cool, but I don't know. I thought those were chocolate chips.
You said you didn't like raisin oatmeal cookies. I love those.
Oh, but I like raisins.
But you don't like raisin cookies?
No, fuck no. It's a cookie.
Does it make you mad that you think they're chocolate chips, then you bite in, then they're raisin? Is that why you don't like them, or?
No, like I don't have bad eyesight. I see that they're raisins, but why the fuck are they in a cookie?
Wait. You've never been fooled by a raisin cookie that it was chocolate chip? I thought that happened to everybody.
No, because I look at things before I put them in my mouth.
Do you smell your food?
How would you not notice?
I think that's really gross when people do that. They take the food and they go like they're a fucking dog. I can't stand when people do it.
You've had a cookie before. You know what that shit smells like. But I definitely, I'll look and be like, what? raisins? Get this shit out of here. Ew.
Heather doesn't like
People
raisins.
who eat
Heather, I love raisins.
people who eat oatmeal cookies don't love themselves.
I love oatmeal
That's
cookies.
scientific. That's a scientific fact, but you don't love yourself.
Chewy. Oh, I like a raisin oatmeal. I like a cranberry oatmeal. Ooh, with some walnut in it. Yeah.
What the? Nah, dude. Oatmeal belongs in a bowl or in one of those feeding bags for a horse. That's it. That's where oatmeal belongs.
Heather, you do know that raisins are dried grapes and that prunes are dried plums.
Keep it regular.
What's a cowboy cookie? Well, yeah. Oh, I don't know what a cowboy cookie is.
I don't want to know what a cowboy cookie is. A cowboy cookie sounds like a cookie that has a bunch of shit in it.
Right.
Like pretzel pieces and shit. Like, calm down. It's a cookie.
Cowboy cookie. Okay. A brown sugar, sweet chocolate chips, old-fashioned oats, and what look like pecans or walnuts. That's what I'm seeing here. You know what I hate in candy? Butterscotch. I hate that flavor of molasses. Yeah.
Nah, you can keep the butterscotch too.
Yeah.
Unless it's coming from an old lady, then I'll take it.
What about oatmeal cream pies? You ever have a oatmeal cream pie?
I'll leave that one alone.
Okay. You ever had a whoopie pie?
I don't know. I don't think so. Dude, oatmeal, all that other, if it's not like no oatmeal at all in a cookie in any form, whoopie pie or whatever.
You want to get fat. No. Now you've lost. Yeah, congratulations. You've lost a good 60 pounds, and I can undo that for you.
Actually, I'm closer to 75, but whatever.
Wow.
Now that's cool because that's chocolate.
I can put 75 right back on you with these. This is not a cookie. This is like cake. Imagine like a piece of cake, like about, pretty big. This is about 4 inches across. It's got about a centimeter of butter and powdered sugar frosting.
Yeah, I've had one of those before. Delish. But it's chocolate. It doesn't have breakfast cereal in it. It doesn't have fucking dried porridge in it. No, thank you.
All right.
That's a cake with some fucking cream in the middle. I'm listening. But oatmeal, anything, you lost me at oatmeal.
All right. Well, people in the chat, you got to suggest what happens on our football gentleman's bet. The bet is the Denver Broncos are better than the 49ers. That's the bet. So whoever gets further in the playoffs is the better team. That is the metric. If they both lose at the same time, then we will use points to determine. If they both play in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whoever loses by the greater margin is the worst team. And then the loser's team, he gets punished by the chat. I will not eat raw fish. That is off the table. I think that's too gross.
No, if we both
potentially dangerous. I think those things have worms or whatever when they're raw. I don't want to eat that.
No,
if you guys can come up with something, I'll let you.
If we both lose in the same round, we have to kill ourselves.
I'm not killing myself, dude.
Yeah, dude. The next live stream, we got to kill ourselves.
No, thank you.
It's 1, 2, 3. That's what we have to do. That's the only bet I'm making.
Okay, same time. Jericho has to eat coconut cookies with crunchy peanut butter on it. Would you eat an oatmeal coconut cookie?
No fucking way.
I'm gonna make you lose. I'm gonna make that and mail them to you.
That's like eating. That would be like eating that dick pudding or whatever that shit was that they eat in fucking.
I'll send you spotted dick if that's what you want.
What the fuck, dude? That's gross. Spotted dick. Why that name?
Because
spotted. I get. Why dick?
Dick. I don't know.
But why dick? Does it look like? Is that what British guys' dicks look like? The funny shape of that cake. Why is it fucking called that?
I don't know. They got a lot of weird words with their food. Okay. I was at the British restaurant that I go to here in town, the one Matthew we found with Matthew, and I go to their little shoppy, behind the restaurant. There's a shop of like imported British snacks and foods and sauces, and their candy is hilarious. It's always like a flaky wakey and a whisper and a creamy pies, and the names are always like so weirdly whimsical. It's really not like American. I don't know. There's a certain vernacular to it that I can't put my finger on, but it's always like a jammy Dodger. I got some of those. And then there's a candy bar called a Whisper. And I don't know.
Do they have any candies called Fat Veiny Cock? Because they have a dessert called Spotted Dick.
They were out of that candy, actually.
No more Fat Veiny Cock. Oh man.
So Heather says She hates raisins because raisins taste like D ... What do you think she meant here? I think she meant dirt.
I hope so.
I think she meant
sincerely hope so.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about.
It tastes like dick. Whoa. Quite aggressive. But hey, if she don't like them, she don't like them.
She don't like them.
She has a right. You have the right to feel however you want about raisins here.
Well,
I don't care.
We're almost to 9 o'clock. We're gonna go, but I just wanted to. Is there anything new going on with you for 2026? What is the latest in the Jericho Green universe? What's going on in the Jericho Green cinematic universe? What is coming soon to theaters everywhere?
Cinematic. Ooh, no pressure. Just more content coming out, more designs, new designs for my merch. I'm thinking about doing lives on a different day and a different time. I don't want to change just for the sake of changing, but I am going to try to put out more. Same stuff, same me, same stuff that
new year, new
brought
me.
you to me. Well, the same me that brought you to me,
right?
But just more of me.
Now that there's less of you, and you lost 75 pounds, now that there's less of you, there's going to be more of you.
There has to be more of me, and I'm gonna stick it back in all the way to the bristle.
To the bristle.
Yep. So you can expect that.
Let's see this. All right. Well, that's what's coming with him. What's coming with me is the Unstoppable TYRUS 128-page graphic novel. I got the 10 more pages of Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2, so 60 pages of a 69 page graphic novel of Dean Cain Part 2 are complete. I got those in my email on Monday from the amazing illustrator Philippe Briones. He of Disney fame, having animated Tarzan, Brother Bear, Emperor's New Groove. He's an amazing illustrator, good friend of mine. And hopefully to see him in San Diego Comic-Con this year. He'll finally meet the people that he's been drawing books for. Unstoppable TYRUS, there's the shirt. If you watch Gutfeld tonight, you might see a certain Tyrus Murdoch himself wearing this shirt. You'll be able to get that in the campaign that launches January 20th. 128-page graphic novel, like an awesome superhero action movie from the 80s. The Unstoppable TYRUS, you're gonna love this thing. We're gonna blow your faces off. I had about an hour meeting with TYRUS this morning via StreamYard. It's like a Zoom meeting, but we use this software instead. We had a great time. I recorded some of it. I'm going to put out some video from that of things he and I talked about comics and heroes and making this stuff. And he was so complimentary, so accommodating. He was really effusive in his praise of me and what I did with his concept. And I was very happy to hear that because I put so much into this. I started drawing this book over a year ago. I started conceptualizing it like a year and a half or more, I told Jericho, I told you this probably like 2 years ago that I was going to do this book, right? So, But now that we got the first one done, we've created the characters in the universe, it's going to go faster. I've already written the sequel to this book. I need to start drawing it at the end of the month. And, but I got to rewrite it another time. I got to, you write things a few times. I've told you guys this many times. When you write, writing is rewriting is the old saying. But the Unstoppable TYRUS, I want you all there. I want you all signed up. Go to bigmancomics.com. You guys are awesome. And I know you love awesome stories. So what was that? Did you hear that?
I was getting Gutfeld queued up for after we're done.
I was like, is someone outside my house yelling? So go to Big Man Comics and sign up for the mailing list because you'll be the first to see and hear things there. But come January 20th, you're not going to be able to not hear about this. This thing's going to be talked about everywhere. And TYRUS and I, it's starting with this graphic novel, but we have huge plans for this property, for this character, for this universe, and it's a fun one. If you're like me and you loved like stuff like the Ninja Turtles and that 80s animation, Transformers and G.I. Joe, and just how that all felt, those whole worlds of cartoons and movies and action figures and all that stuff, that's where I want to take this thing because I really think it's built for that. It's really, really, really fun and entertaining, and I think it's some of the best work I've ever done. So I'm very excited about it. I want to see you all there January 20th. We're going to be launching this thing, and we're going to have a great time with it. Let's see. You guys in the comments are ridiculous. What is going on here? Brian Knapp says his favorite candy bar is an Australian. Anyone know that? What a violet crumble. I had a violet crumble last year. I got to tell you, I hated it. Tony, the great Tony
Damn.
from Australia,
Fucked
he
up.
sent me a box of Australian candies and chips and all kinds, and they were so good, so many of them. But there was a Cadbury chocolate is so good. They use like real milk and cream, unlike the powdered milk we use in America. But there was a like they included, it was like 20 different candy bars. But one of them was the violet caramel. I got to tell you, I hated it because I think it has a strong flavor of molasses. I might not be thinking of the right one. Maybe I got the wrong one, but I think that was the one I didn't like. Sorry to tell you no. Favorite candy bar is a Butterfinger. I don't like.
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
That's right. Don't have a
That was
cow,
shit
man.
back in the day.
Right.
Hell yeah.
But my favorite candy is from C's Candy because they use real ingredients. I don't like the stuff at 7-Eleven or Halloween, at Reese's, Snickers, Twix. I loved all that shit when I was a kid. But now that I'm older and I've been eating healthy for about 15 years straight, like natural food, that stuff tastes weird. When I eat it, it tastes very strange. Like for the last 10 years or so, when I eat a Snickers or a Twix or whatever, it's like, like I taste all the chemicals. So I used to love
That's all it is. That's all it is fucking chemicals.
I don't know what none of my right here says. So it'll blow your spotted dick off. What are you talking about?
Whoa, dude. That's what we have to do. If we lose the bet, one of us got to blow our dicks off.
Never.
Yeah, dude.
Not happening.
Fucking
Jericho,
hardcore bets.
They don't make a gun big enough, buddy. So.
I like to do extreme bets. So
I want you guys in the chat before we go here. We got like a minute or two left. Recommend something. Let's see, you guys do your worst. Whose football team is going to do better? Mine, of course, will do better. And if they don't, what happens to me? What do I have to eat? I won't eat raw fish, so I just won't do that. I'm not doing it. So, Velvet Crumble had a honeycomb top. Oh, I liked that one. Well, I don't know what the one that tasted like molasses was then. Never mind. So, never mind.
Tasted like shit.
Tasted like molasses.
You can live on it, but it tastes like shit.
What is that from?
Crocodile Dundee.
Right.
You can live on it. It tastes like shit.
Michael Coulter says, Gabe is a former Colorado native. I'm going to have to go with the Broncos. Damn right. That'll be the second Super Bowl they win in the 49ers stadium.
No, it won't.
Do you know when the Broncos go to the Super Bowl? This year, the AFC is the home team. So they will use the 49ers locker room. And the 49ers, if they make it to the Super Bowl, they'll have to go in the visitors locker room.
Dude, just wait. Watch the fucking Broncos get bounced in the divisional round. And be like, oh, fuck. Then you get to the AFC Championship game. Because all it takes is, whoever they're playing to have, one good game.
Yeah, just take
once. Can you pull it together?
Here, one interception here, one fumble here, something like that. Yeah.
Who is it? The fucking Lambs are going down to going over to Carolina. The Lambs are going to Carolina.
Yeah,
dude. I think didn't Carolina beat them earlier this year? I think they did.
Like 2-3 weeks ago.
Dude.
That's that whole thing. But the West Coast team at 10 a.m. on the coast on the East, it's historical, almost 80% offense.
If the Lambs go to Carolina and get beat,
that'd be crazy.
Man, I'd love to face Carolina. We'll fuck them up again. We already beat them once.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
49ers have been big brothering the Panthers for like 30 years, man.
Damn, dude. If they get go Carolina. Go Carolina.
Okay, we'll get out of here on one last thing, but we're gonna just do this for the hell of it because we both love football. We're gonna do our picks for the week just because I love a guy who knows football like TYRUS, and I want your opinion. I'm gonna name the game. You tell me who's gonna win. NFC wildcard round. Rams at Panthers Saturday. Who wins?
Panthers.
Okay, I say Rams. Packers at Bears. I think is Jordan Love back or is he injured still?
If Jordan Love is back, the Packers.
I think Packers win that. Yeah, Road Dogs. Wild card. Bills, Jags. Jags win that.
Jags, yeah, the Bills. Fucking Bills, man.
49ers, Eagles. I think the Niners win that. I don't like Justin Hurts. I don't like or Jalen Hurts. I don't like him.
Yeah, they're beatable.
Yeah. Chargers, Patriots. Chargers are going to win that. Chargers get no media attention and no one knows anything about them, but I do because I live in San Diego and the Broncos play them twice a year. Bo Nix.
Yeah, but the Pats.
Hold on. Bo Nix was the least sacked quarterback in the league this year, and but One team and one team only terrorized Bo Nix twice, sacking him and chasing him around. The Chargers. They have one of the nastiest defenses in the league, and no one talks about it. They go into New England and beat the fakest team ever, the Patriots, who have beat one winning record team this year. One. Patriots are
I'm all
fake.
for it. Go.
Chargers win that. And I'm not a Charger fan. I'm a Charger hater because I'm a Bronco fan. I hate the Chargers. They win that. Texans, Steelers. I think on paper, everyone thinks it's going to be the Texans. I think Aaron Rodgers has one more in him. That's what I think. What do you think? What do you think of Chargers, and what do you think of the Steeler game? What do you think of those two games?
It's wait, who are the Chargers playing against?
The Chargers are going to the Patriots. I think the Chargers are winning that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'd go with the Chargers on that one. And who's playing the Steelers?
The Texans.
I'll go Texans on that. Their defense is crazy, and Aaron Rodgers. But hey, in this last game against the Ravens, dude, Aaron Rodgers was putting that ball exactly where it needed to be. Like those passes were perfect.
Yeah.
So, but the defense of the Texans is crazy. So I go Texans.
All right, those are our 5-star. You ever get in your car early on a Saturday morning and those like mafioso gambler guys have rented airtime on the radio?
Oh yeah,
that gold star, 5-star, red lock pick of the week, and like call in now, get your bets in, and like, do people really call and bet on those shows?
Hey, you get $50 free with your first bet. All you got to do is call us right now, or go on to GoDaddy.com or whatever. What is it? PrizePicks.com, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, and that shit's so annoying. Because you know why? Because it feels so esoteric. I feel like I'm an outsider and I don't understand what the fuck they're saying.
Right. They got their 5-star red hammer lock pick of the week. Like,
I'm like, what the fuck is that?
What is
I
that?
feel like that.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah, I want one. I feel like that with listening to Jim Rome. He has so many sayings and terms, and
I was a
rack
clone.
'em. Yeah, clone, rack 'em, and all that shit. I mean, you could pick it up, but like, if you're just tapping in for a second, hey.
I was a devotee of Jim Rome 3 hours a day from like 96 when I got my driver's license. I started listening to the radio all the time until 2008. Basically, I listened to Jim Rome like nonstop. Love Jim. I know all the people, all the characters that would call in regularly. The Smack Off, that once a year, like Smack Talk.
Phenomenal, dude.
He basically invented sports radio. There wasn't like sports radio like that. And do you know where he went to college? UC Santa Barbara. He's a banana slug. Do you know where he got his start in radio, though?
No.
Extra Sports 690, San Diego. Does not exist anymore, but it was a San Diego radio station down here. That's where he got his start doing sports radio. So American sports radio comes from San Diego. He got it started back in like 90 or 91 or whatever.
Yeah, Jim Rome's a shit, man. He my favorite thing about his show is because when I used to deliver beer, I'd fucking, catch him. He would like start right at the beginning of my route. Man, I listened to that whole damn show, and he'd be like, when he'd hang up on somebody, I don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call. Yeah. That shit was so funny. The guy, his producer, who's dropping those sound bites and shit, even while he's talking, they'll drop him in the background. That dude is equal to Jim Rome, because those are such a big part. Maybe not equal to Jim Rome, but a big part. Those sound bites and those drops are a huge part of the show, and that dude is on it. He's on it. Dude.
We should put a hot chick on the screen.
Yeah, doing. She jumps up and down. What?
I know if we do that, my wife will tune in that moment. If we do that.
Dude. Well, that'll set off the frequency.
Yeah. No, I love Jim Rome. One of my favorite things about his show is like callers call in. Less of you and more of me is a good thing. He would take calls, but the calls would be so bad sometimes. Well, if I'm the Bills, I'm running a 34 defense. And then just like going on and on about this thing they were drunk telling their friends at the bar. And it's a horrible radio call. And he'll go, meh, and he'll just put a buzzer and hang up on it.
I don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
It was one of the
It's so fucking funny. Right in the middle of him talking.
Like a whack take. Like they said, like they like creamy peanut butter, whatever. He's like, can I get a drug test for that guy? And they're like, drug test.
Dude, genius. There had to be a production meeting for those sound bites and those drops, man. Had to be, because that's amazing.
Guys, I want you to tune into my other podcast. This is a recorded one. We put out clips and we record it. I've been posting it on Thursday mornings. I'm recording it once a week. It is two sketchy guys with a Disney animator. He's 71 years old, but he's got a ton of energy. We'll have him back on here. He's a legend. Bill Frake, Ice Age, Iron Giant, Little Mermaid, endless cartoons, movies, Disney forever, an animator. If you love art and entertainment, and who doesn't, tune in, because I was at Marvel and DC Comics forever, right? I run my own company. If you want the insight on entertainment and what it was like to live as that, two sketchy guys. And then my friend Cecil Lammey. He's a Denver sports radio talk show host for like Denver Broncos stuff and all. He's this football genius. He's also a comic book writer for his own independent company, Smoking Gun Comics. And I texted him today and I said, hey, what if me and you record 1 hour a week and we talk comic books? Just because he's my age. He's like 3 years older than me. So he's a 90s comic guy, an 80s, 90s comic guy. Like that's when he became a fan like I did. And so I think we're going to make a show. It's not created yet. We're just texting today. And we're going to talk comic books for an hour. And every week, I think, like, here's one of my favorite comics and then talk about why it's one of the best and show some of the artwork. So I think me and Cecil Lammey might be making a show there. He does awesome podcasts about the Denver Broncos and all this stuff. He's an awesome guy. Very good on the radio, Cecil. But I think I'm going to start a comic book podcast with him. So we'll be up to like 3 shows around here. Guys, January 20th, the Unstoppable TYRUS. It's going to be one of the best things you've ever read. You're going to love it. You're going to order as many copies as possible. You're going to want every cover, the T-shirts, all of it. And I love you guys for that. Hit the like, hit the share. He's JG Talk 2 on Instagram. He's all over YouTube as Jericho Green. Make sure you follow and like his videos. You love him. He's hilarious. And we'll be back next week. We'll try to be at 5 p.m. Jericho had some stuff, family stuff. You know, me and Jericho will put family first, but we try to do the show at 5 p.m. Now we're trying to do it that way. We had to do 7 o'clock today. Love you. Talk to you guys later.